Okay, lovely. All right, let's get started. So sitting nice and tall, as always for our morning class, we're going to find our alignment, line up our spine, engage our core and our breathing. So in a seated, in a seated comfortable posture with the legs crossed or to the side, pressing the hands down onto your knees or onto the mat, and just start to engage your breathing. So we're going to take our slow inhale through the nose. A nice slow exhale through the mouth. Like we're blowing out a candle on a birthday cake. So nice and controlled with that exhale. Deep breath in again. And exhale. And one more time like that. Deep breath in. And exhale. Nice. Okay, let's take some circles into the head and neck. So we're going to drop the chin and take it over to one side. And then like you're taking a little rainbow with your nose all the way up towards the sky, back to the center, and then realign your head to the second side. So dropping that chin, dragging it across the other side. Nice big circle up towards the sky, all the way around, and then back through center. We're going to do that one more time each side, just to really ensure that our neck is nice and mobile for the class ahead. And center, and last one. Really being mindful not to tip the head back too far. And center. Lovely. Let's take a little stretch out to the side, just reaching those arms nice and long, tipping over to one side of your mat, taking a nice side stretch, and then pushing the body up. Deep breath in, over to the other side, really opening through that side body, and up. Lovely. Let's do some seated cat and cow now. So we're going to draw the hands into our heart center, interlace your fingers, and curl back. So you're pushing back the spine, hollowing out through the belly. And then as you come through your midline, so you're aligning the spine and then arching the back. And you can take like a little sort of wiggle here. Open the arms to reset that. So hands to your heart center. Curl your spine back. Really engage your core here by pulling your belly button to your spine. Sitting nice and tall. Find that tall back. And then sort of arch through your spine. Have a little wiggle. And then place your hands down. Lovely, guys. Okay, we're going to come straight over onto our back. So supine posture. And we're going to find our core muscles. So rolling down through your spine. Bring your knees with you. As always, take a few moments just to sort of release the lower back, especially in morning classes. You'll find that because we haven't done as much sort of physical movement yet, our body is quite tight. So just taking some extra time in our morning classes to sort of just open up all those areas that have sort of closed in at night. Bring your feet down to the mat and have a little windscreen wiper. Just allow your knees to softly fall from side to side. Excellent. Alrighty, let's move into some core activation. So we're going to start with some crunches. We're going to add some arms today and then move into our supine twist. So taking your hands to begin, and just ensure that you're really activating your lower abdominals, so lower pelvic floor muscles. We're scooping them up and under the ribs like we would prepare for our roll-ups, which we will do soon. But to prepare the core here for our abdominal lift, we want to think about everything coming from that midline. So taking your hands to your temples, we take a deep breath in, and as we exhale, we draw that position up. We're going to reach the arms a little higher, bring them back, and then lower down. So we kind of have two little movements there. We breathe in and we exhale. We reach a little higher, and then in and lower down. Good. So we're going to keep that movement going with our exhale to pull us up, and really elongating the arms as we come up as well. So we're thinking about sort of reaching beyond the knees, bringing them back in and lowering down. And as we do this, we're drawing in those abdominals and we're really pulling those muscles down nice and strong. Good. Let's do a few more of these. Just really finding that engagement. And down. Let's do 3. Good. And 2. Nicely done, everyone. Let's hold this next one at the top. So you're going to hold it here. So hold that flexion through your core. And you're just going to reach your arms back behind you and then reach back forward. So think of sort of reaching them in line with your sort of head and forward. And you're holding your abdominals here strong. Simple exercise, but it's quite challenging for that abdominal wall. And keeping in mind, if you feel any pain in your neck, maybe just taking one hand to the back of the neck like this, just to add a little bit of extra support. Great. We've got two more. And last one of these. Good. Draw the hands back to the temples and softly lower down. Lovely. Just turn your head from side to side, releasing your neck. And then placing your hands out to your T position with your palms facing up. We're going to move straight into our supine twist to find our obliques. So inhale, right leg off the mat. Exhale, left to join. And then squeezing those knees together. Imagining you've got that big rubber band wrapped around your thighs here. We breathe in and exhale. We're going to move the knees over to one side of our mat with control, keeping our opposite shoulder pressing down, and then draw them up over to the other side. Good. Now you want to keep your gaze towards the roof here and think about really navigating this from your mid zone. So arguably the best exercise also for your obliques and core anyway, the best exercise for stabilization and activating that core zone. Also, you get sort of like a nice stretch into your spine. You're only going to go as far with those knees as you feel you can control the movement though. So maybe not going as far if it means your shoulder is peeling off the mat. You want to keep that stable. Good work, everybody. We're going to do one more each side. And then we're going to meet at the top. Lovely. Now, holding this position, check that you're still really pulling down your abdominals, and then take your hands back to your temples, or sort of a little bit further back behind the head here. And then as we crunch up, we're going to stretch one leg up and then lower down. And one leg up and lower down. So working, coordinating with that lift and extension. Now, as you do this, you can take the other foot down to tap the mat if you want to. So exhaling into that position and drawing back down. Exhaling and inhaling. And down. Good. Couple more of these. Keep drawing your belly button to your spine. Keeping that connection to your abdominals. And two. And one. Nice. Hug those knees down. Have a little breather. Just take a moment to drop your knees from side to side. Excellent. Okay, core is switched on and active now. We're going to move into our roll-ups to our bridge. Great exercise to set the spine for the day, to find articulation in our back body, and also engage our glutes. So, as always, you've got options with your levels. So more advanced, you want to take your arms up and work on your balance a bit more. Otherwise, keeping them down on the mat and really pressing them down to help ground your body. So taking them up if you wish. Feet, make sure they're not too far from your bottom, and knees and hips in line. We're going to tuck that pelvis. So that area we spoke about earlier, that lower pelvic floor zone, we're scooping it up and under our ribs as we draw our spine up off the mat. We roll up one vertebrae at a time. We squeeze at the top, rise to the balls of the feet. See if you can go a little bit higher, keeping that integrity in your alignment, and then softly roll it down all the way through your spine and drop the heels. Take a deep breath. Tucking and squeezing to roll up. Really slowly articulate that movement. Squeezing at the top. And then rolling down smooth and slow here. All the way down. Dropping the heels. Release the pelvis. Tucking up. Now we're going to add a little combination up here. So we're rolling up. We're going to rise to the balls of the feet. Arms and legs are going to slightly open. Think like a little clam. Squeeze back in and then rolling down. So we take this movement a tiny bit sort of faster now, a little bit a little bit faster, but still with the same control. And we squeeze at the top, opening out on that inhale, squeezing, easing down through that spine. Good, excellent. Let's do one more like that. We're going to hold this next one at the top, and we're just going to take that open and squeeze. Opening and squeezing. Good. See if you can push your pelvis higher, engaging through the back of your calves here as well. For 2 and 1. Nice. Now turn your palms so they're facing down towards the floor, and just walk your feet a little closer towards your bottom. And we're just going to do some heel rises here. So you're going to drop your heels and lift, and drop your heels and lift, and lower and lift. Now don't let your pelvis drop. Keep that pelvis lifted. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. We're going to hold it up there, hold it strong, and softly roll it down. Excellent. Give your legs a windscreen wiper. Your glutes should be really on fire here. Good. Hug your knees in and just take a little moment to relax your lower back and your glutes there. We're going to move into some single leg work. So placing your left leg down to the mat, keep your right knee squeezing in towards your chest, and just moving into your hip circles here. So again, arguably a little exercise, this circle movement that you should try and do probably every day, to be honest, to keep our hips mobile, reversing round. You want to think about that giant ball and socket joint at the top of the hip, such a vital joint for pliability in our hips. We want to keep it really healthy as we get older as well. Good. All right, sending that leg up. Same thing. Let's focus on those ankle joints now. So rotating through your ankles, getting any morning clicks out, both directions. Just preparing that area. Lovely stuff. Okay, we're going to start with our basic circles. So reaching your arms up again for a little bit more balance required, or hands down, or maybe one hand up. And with your big toe, we're just tracing some circles on the roof here. So about the size of a clock. Not too big, but really precise with your movement, and try to keep your core really active here. And then reversing the circles around the other way. Keep that breath nice and steady. Good. Okay, now we're going to take a strong flex through that foot. Take the same hand as the leg down to the mat, so you can keep it down by your side or out to the side. And then you're going to open that arm and leg out to the side, and then squeeze to lift. So as you do this, you want to think about the opposite side, keeping it really square. And we're sort of activating that inner thigh as we draw that position up. Also hip mobility, and up. One more. Remember, you might only come to here, and that's absolutely fine. Just going to where you feel a challenge. Holding it at the top, take your other arm up, reaching for your toe, point through your foot, and then squeeze that leg down. Lovely work, guys. Just give that knee a nice tight cuddle. Take a moment there, maybe hug your other knee in towards your chest as well. Just give your knees a nice squeeze, and we're going to prepare that all on our second side. So when you're ready, we're going to take your right leg in towards your chest now. And same thing, just starting with those little circles, just to open up the hip, and just taking your time to prepare that joint here. Both directions. Really giving that visual aid to the top of the pelvis, that really mobilizing that area. And then send that leg up. Same thing, taking your circles into your ankle. Getting all those clicks out. Both directions. Lovely. And then we're going to take both arms up for the hardest version. Maybe one hand down, maybe both hands down, just whatever you need there. And then we're going to move into those little circles up on the roof. So maintaining that nice, stable sort of feeling in your mid zone, and visualizing you have like a little pen on your big toe. And then reverse it around the other direction. Keep stability here. And just a nice gentle breath. So we're just breathing kind of still through the mouth if you can, but more without a sort of pattern here. Good. All right, let's take now the same hand as the leg down to the floor, flexion through the top foot, and we're going to find that nice strong open as far as we can without that other hip moving. So keep it stable and then squeeze to lift. So you might only come to here, and that's absolutely fine, especially if you feel any pain in your hip. You want to only go as far as your sort of flexibility will allow, so that you're really activating the muscles and not pushing your hip joint there. Squeezing to lift and down and squeezing to lift. Good. Let's do 2 more of these. I don't know if we did the same on each side. Sorry. Forgot to count here. Good. Let's actually just do 1 more. I think we might need to do 1 more. Yep. And then holding it up, reaching up for that foot. Take a deep breath, point through your toe, and then hug that knee in. Lovely work. Have a moment just to release that hip, taking another round of your windscreen wiper. Really nice relax for those hip joints there. Great. And then we're going to roll over to one side of our mat. So we're going to come straight over to our sideline, finding your neck resting in your hand, or lying all the way down, whatever you prefer there. And we're going to make our little 90-degree angle box here. So like we do in our supine twist, same thing, but into our sideline. So top hand, you're just sort of aligning your top part of your body here. So just watching for a support that you're not tipping with the movement. So we're going to start with that leg elevated. So like you've got a fist distance apart there. We're just going to come into our little window opener to begin and squeeze it down. Good. So again, walking that hip rotation with a little bit more glute activation here. And if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, again, you can always just take that arm up and work a little bit more into your balance and down. Doesn't need to stay up there. You keep it down here as well and down. Let's do 2 more. Good. And 1. Nice. Now you're going to invert your knee. So you're rotating that knee in, and you're just going to take that leg sort of out on a diagonal and then squeeze back in and push it out and squeeze back in and out and squeeze back in for 3 and 2 and last one. Now hold it out there and just draw some tiny circles out there. Feel those muscles in your leg really working. And then reverse the circles. Keep breathing there. And hold it strong. And bring it down. Lovely, guys. Take that leg directly behind you. We're going to do our little inner thigh exercise. So top leg behind you, underneath leg stretched out long. Flex through that foot and little pulses. This can also be done with the leg in front. Totally up to you. Find it a little bit more functional for my hips with it behind. But you can see which one you prefer for this particular exercise. As long as you're feeling that activation in the inside of that underneath leg, it doesn't really matter too much. And we're just steady breathing here. So breathing in and exhaling. And breathing in and exhaling. We've got 1 more round of breath here. Keep your neck long. Good. Let's point our foot. We're going to do our 3-level lift. So lifting level 1, squeeze and hold. And 2, squeeze and hold. And one more squeeze and hold. And bring it down. Lovely, guys. Just gently assist yourself up there. We're going to take a quick stretch and we're going to come back on that side and do some side plank. Yeah? So we're going to do our forearm side plank. So setting yourself up, shoulder directly over the elbow, fist or fingers flat. And then remember, with your side plank, you can always lower the underneath leg if you need a little bit more support. So finding that alignment, pushing your body up, and then send your legs out, stacking or one in front of the other. And then once you're aligned, you can take that top hand up. We're going to do a little spiral under and then unwind to lift. Now this is a lot of work in that top shoulder, so do drop that underneath knee if it gets too much. Yeah, we're going to take one more this direction. Good. Now you're going to take the arm over your head and then bring it back up over your head and then back up, and one more, and we hold it here. We're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and softly lower down. Excellent, guys. Draw yourself up. Bring that underneath arm across for a quick stretch there. Take a deep breath. Your wrists a little roll out, and we'll do that all second side. So just bringing yourself over for your second side, aligning your head as you did on the first side. So top knee is in line with the underneath knee, and then we're going to find that hover, taking the arm up or bringing it down and just moving into that little window opener. So as I should have mentioned this on the first side, you don't want to tip back into the hip. You want to keep the hip really square here as you do this movement, so that we're not kind of navigating with any momentum. We want to use those muscles only. Good, good, good. Let's do a couple more of these. And down and up. And let's do our final one here. Good. Now you're going to invert that knee. So invert that knee. We send it back on the diagonal and squeeze it back in. And back and squeeze. And back and squeeze. Diagonal, reach and down. Good. Let's do this last one. Hold, and you know there's tiny little circles, tiny circles. And then reverse the direction. Hold it strong and bring it down. Excellent, guys. Take that leg back behind you now. Stretch that underneath leg out. Foot and moving. So keeping in mind here that top leg can be forward. And like you've got something on your heel, you're just thinking of like the heel pushing up and the toes rotating down, so that we're finding this inner abductor muscle and not just like the leg, but more the inner thigh. Taking 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to take that 3-level hold. So point your toe, lift and hold 1, lift and hold 2, and final one, lift and hold 3, and then soften it down. Great, guys. Push yourself up. Have a quick stretch of that side. And then we're going to prepare for that side plank. So coming back over, finding that nice strong position as you did on the first side, making the hand flat or your fist, and then pushing yourself up. Find your version of this posture, so feet can be stacked one in front of the other. And we're going to take that little spiral, so exhaling and inhaling. Exhale, spiral, and up, and one more there. Keep pushing the mat away and breathing. I know this one's challenging for that shoulder. Reaching over and back up, and 2, and up, and one more. Hold it strong. Take your final breath there and soften it down. Excellent, guys. Taking that underneath the arm, take a quick stretch out. Really well done. Good. All right, my lovelies, let's have a stretch to finish. Really good job today. So we'll take our seated tree. Pretty much every class this stretch is coming in. So working the hips, working the back, working the hamstring, finding one leg bent, drawing the arms up, really reach up tall, and then think someone's pulling that body forward over that leg, and then soften down. And you want to try and think about reaching further than your foot. So even if you're here, try to think about reaching beyond your leg to help get that extension in your spine. Rolling softly up, then taking your opposite hand to the knee, reaching the other arm up, and then side bending over. Again, just coming to where you feel a stretch efficiently for your body. Coming up. Take a breath at the top, and then second side. Setting yourself up there. Think about equaling out through your seat bones, reaching up on your inhale and forward on your exhale. Really lengthening the back body. Rolling up. Opposite hand over, reaching up and coming over to that side bend. Again, just focusing on those breaths. And drawing back up. Take a breath at the top. Lovely, guys. Let's just take seated posture. So taking the arms out nice and wide, and then take one arm across the body. Feeling that lovely stretch to the outside of the shoulder. And then just guide that hand down to your elbow for your tricep stretch. You want to just sort of think about stretching that front part there, well, the underneath part, sorry. And then other side, deep breath in, bring that arm across. And then sliding into your tricep. Good. And then reaching the arms up and then just coming over for a forward stretch here. So just relaxing your head and chest down. Think of crawling your hands forward. Try to relax the back of the neck. And then rolling back up. Nice. All right, my lovelies, let's close down our class with our 3 deep breaths. If you have a bit more time this morning, maybe do a few more little stretches just to prepare your body for the day. Otherwise, if you're finishing here, let's take our 3 breaths together. So drawing your arms up, really breathe into the side body of rib cage. Big exhales, you press them down. Want to take these really grounding breaths. So inhale. Big exhale, 2. And third one, taking that positive energy into your mind and body. And big exhale, 3. And relax. Well done, guys.